So, welcome to what I am calling Inside Jokes, working title. We are moving very quickly with this. I just wanted to do, for lack of a better term, a podcast where I talk to people that inspire me. Hopefully, I can get better because of it. I have a lot of respect for things I cannot do, chefs, musicians, and specifically people that have a different comedy style than mine. So in that sense, that's why I wanted to bring on iChris.topher, aka Christopher Underhill or Baggins. If you travel under
Yes,
Baggins. Yeah, you do. Okay. Sorry to give that
I'm
away.
happy. No, no, I'm happy
Uh,
we got the Lord of the Rings reference in.
oh yeah,
It was
we
going to
have
happen
to.
eventually. So,
I have two Lord of the Rings tattoos, so it was gonna happen, which is two more than most people should have.
okay.
But yeah, so I just ever since I saw the first video I saw of yours was the Charger Accord. Um,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that's one of the most perfect jokes I've ever seen in I
Thank
think
you.
and does that where does that coming up with the idea, where does that start? Did that start with the word Accord, realizing Accord is both a car and a charger and stuff like that?
Oh,
Or
dude,
just or do you just come up with these naturally?
I was like 19 or 20 when I came up with that Charger cord joke. And it's funny because I didn't drive back then. So I don't know
Gotcha. Okay.
where the hell that came in. It just,
Just scroll and you found it.
scrolling. I don't know, man. I like the thing with my like creative process. I don't want to come off egotistical here,
Oh, please.
but like I don't really
This is the
have one.
spot to brag, so go for it. Yeah.
I wish I could brag, man, but honestly,
Mhm.
I do not have one. Like if I were to explain it like to the best of my ability here, I would say that it's all just like it's all observation, connecting dots. Like I hyper focus on something specific. Like you say the car joke. That one's specifically like I remember that one just kind of like hit me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I didn't really have like a I didn't really have like an idea for it. It just kind of hit me. But like other ideas, for example, like I said, I hyper focus on certain topics and I kind of tear them apart like you would dissect a frog. And it's just like, okay, I know these certain things are associated with this topic, but then I also know there's another topic over here that
Hmm.
things are also associated with it. I'm like, okay, well, connecting words, connecting themes, and then it just kind of aligns after a bit of just kind of sitting with it and letting it cook, let it simmer. And then eventually I do come up with something. Sometimes I think they're really good. Sometimes I think they're like okay. And that's how it's been for years.
Yeah, yeah, and I can
Legitimately,
see
yeah. Yeah.
that. I can see that in there, like, because it's not basic stuff. It's not like what we would call first thought stuff. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff. Like I have a very natural way of posting where I come up with something. I do it within probably 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And you can catch lightning that way, but most of the time it's, like
Yeah,
it falls
yeah.
a little flat. And that brings me to a comment you get a lot that I was going to ask you about. You get the doesn't miss comment a lot. I don't know if you've
Doesn't miss.
noticed
I
that.
do
Like,
get that. I see that.
is there
Yeah.
a pressure with
Like,
that? Like once you start getting that over
no,
and
man.
over? No?
No, man. Like, I never really like it. It's such a nice compliment. Like I always appreciate it every
Mm.
time I get it. Like I'm happy that they're enjoying it and I'm happy that they see so much potential in my future that I never miss. But um, if there's a case where like I do miss, and I have many times, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't really uh, matter to me because it's just like, well, none of it really like none of it's serious, right? So if I put out a video and I think it's gonna do really well, and then it completely falls flat, whatever. It took me what, like 2 minutes to make it, 2 minutes to think of it,
Right, low risk.
move on to the next thing. If
Yeah.
you, yeah, 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 like
Yeah.
it never really. But no, it's such a it's a nice comment, and I like that people uh kind of carry that torch throughout each video I do.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
don't, I keep looking for it, but, but I don't get it. Like I get more of like, oh, nice, you got one finally. Um,
Ah, I
some
get the ones
other,
that are like,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I do get the ones that are like, oh, I got this one.
That is
I
another thing
figured
I
this
want
one
to talk
out.
about. So, the other side of that is you get a lot of I don't get it.
Hmm. And
From
it's the
what I've
same
seen.
deal.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing, same sentiment.
it's the same boat. Like, it sucks that there's people who follow me and then like I'll post a video and they don't understand it. Like that sucks. But with every video, every joke that I ever put out, I always have the mindset of like, okay, I have confidence that this is funny. I have confidence that it will reach its target audience. Does it
Yeah.
always? No. But every time I post, I'm like, yeah, I think this will do well. And I post it. And yes, I will get comments pretty much on every video I make saying, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get this one. Can someone explain? Can someone explain this to me? Comment, reply to me, whatever.
Hmm. It's
And
engagement. Yeah, at the
oh
very
yeah, oh,
least.
hell yeah, it's engagement. Hell yeah. I
Yeah.
think actually I got one video specifically. I'll go back to in a minute,
Hmm.
but no, it is unfortunate, but every time I get comments of someone that's like, oh, I don't understand this one. There's like 50 people behind them that do.
I think it's aspirational. I think when I think you've cultivated something organically that if you don't get it, people they want to get it, and even
Yeah,
if
it's
they
all yeah.
don't get it, there's something funny beyond getting it in the video, and you might have inspired, I bet you have inspired a lot of Google searches. Like,
I
I
think
know
I
on
did.
specific stuff
I think
I've
I
like
did.
looked up, like what the hell could this, mean, like with the rabbit, like the bunny and the rabbit one, or I was
Oh,
there's
oh, oh, the funny, yeah, it's like turn around, it's Winnie the Pooh.
yes,
That one?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I like that one. I like that one a lot. And that's, going back to the whole scared if someone's gonna get it. That's
Yeah.
the only time where I hesitated to post something because I was like, you know what, this is so like I'm referencing a TikTok that went viral like 3 years ago.
But that one
And I
did
was like,
well,
I
didn't
don't
it?
know if this dude, it did. I think I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know, I might have wrote it anyway. I think it was like three right now it's at 3.5 million views on
There you go.
TikTok and matching that somewhere on Instagram, which is crazy to me because Instagram it wasn't popular on there. You know what I mean? Like it was a TikTok thing.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I that's the only video that I can really think of that I had really hesitated with. Like, oh, this one's gonna, maybe get like 500 views max or something because I thought it's too niche, but it surprisingly did very well. And ever since then, I kind of cultivated a confidence in myself that okay, well, regardless of how uh, complicated it might seem, there's always a community that will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you won't reach that community, but it's there. You got to believe that it's there.
Yeah. Well, the way TikTok is, you
And then
never know. Yeah. But uh
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Well,
I
that's
actually became I
that.
actually became good friends with. Sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, I'm here to
no,
interview you.
no, I was
Go
gonna.
ahead.
I actually became good friends with the creator of the original video of that bunny
Nice.
Winnie the
Okay.
Pooh. Yeah, so a lot of rewards from it. A lot of rewards from it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a perfect segue to another question. What's the craziest like celebrity interaction with your content? Yeah, I know you have millions and
Now,
millions of views. You're nearing 200K on the app. So I would love to hear. I've had some very like light ones, but I would love to hear what
okay.
if any reposts or anything like that are highlights.
I I have had a good amount, and it's been very interesting to see. Like I've had likes from David Spade.
Nice.
I've had likes from who else? Yeah, Bill Burr.
Oh, that's
I'm
the
sorry for
highest
the
praise.
burping. I know it was crazy too when Bill Burr liked it was I did the video, the crow video, the scarecrow video.
My favorite. I literally have it.
Oh hell yeah.
I can't see a scarecrow or hear that word without thinking of that.
Without
And go
seeing me
on,
in
but
a
I have
white shirt.
another point to add to that crow video. But yeah, go on with some
Yeah.
other. But yeah, Bill Burr liking that video is that makes total sense.
Yeah, he when he liked it because his name's Wilfred Burr on Instagram, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
His name's not Bill Burr, right? So I seen Wilfred Burr liked it, and you know how Instagram it will prioritize like bigger accounts who would interact with your stuff, right? You
Yes.
notice
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verified. Yep.
Um, for some reason, Bill Burr's didn't do that, but
Oh.
his was in amongst like the other ones, and I seen Wilfred Burr, and I was like, what are the chances? And I clicked on it, and it was Bill Burr, and I just lost my mind
Screenshot.
for the whole
Screenshot.
day.
Screenshot. Yeah.
Oh my god, man! Screenshot, post a story. I almost
Yeah.
made a post out of it. Uh, yeah, Bill
Tattoo.
Burr, Rachel Zegler, a few
Oh, cool.
times.
Cool.
She's pretty interactive on Instagram. But the best one so far is so cool to me. There was a childhood movie of mine I used to watch all the time growing up called Paranorman. You heard of
Hmm.
Paranorman?
Yep.
Uh, I from the past year and a half, I want to guess, I became really good friends with the actor of that movie, Cody Smith McPhee.
Oh, okay. Not
And
familiar to me, but that's dope.
he was nominated for an Oscar, I believe, 2 years ago
Oh, hell yeah.
for the power of the dog, I think it was called.
Oh, the Isle of
But
Dogs, whatever that it was
the
that the movie?
no, it was the one with the Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I know the one. Yeah. I
Western.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I became really good friends with him.
Nice.
Having conversations like it was just he's a great guy, and it's just so surreal to me that I became friends with him through this, and that was very cool. And like I had a few others. There's also like just the amount of people I became close friends with who also post content on TikTok and Instagram,
Hmm.
who do the same things that I do, who do other things like music, art, photography, acting, directing, just the list goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were like the top that came to few or the few that came
Well,
to the top of my head.
congratulations on the Wilford. Wilford, that's high praise. That's the highest praise.
Yeah, that is cool.
I would have retired. Well,
Called it a day. Yeah.
the crow video is a great example of what I love about what you do, which is, I it's not to sound like a civilian, but it's like a puzzle for the audience to figure out. Where a lot of your videos, I feel like we're seeing the 15 seconds like of a larger story, like that. And that crow
Uh huh.
video is that character returning. There, we already assume there was a conversation before about how that guy is not real, or
Like
he's
yeah,
just you know what I mean. But we're just seeing
yeah.
him returning in this like follow up conversation of like he's still there, like, and like
Like the aftermath. Yeah.
that's the stuff that I love as well. Like also like Dyslexic Owl, that, and then that's cake, and then Worms on Pavement. Worms on Pavement is a different
Worms on pavement.
animal altogether, but that, like, where did Worms on Pavement come from? Did that just, you just saw Worms on Pavement and you're like, I'm having a great
That's
time?
it.
Yeah.
I saw worms on pavement. I was walking to go get a coffee in the rain, and I looked down and I just saw these worms on the pavement. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Because at first, like, I didn't really know why they did that.
Yeah.
And then I Googled it when I got into the Tim Hortons. I Googled it and I was like, okay. They come out when it rains because of water. I don't know. I don't remember the reason, but yeah. And then the next day, I just was like, well, they seem to be having a great time when they do it. So why not put a face to it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it's as simple as that.
That's
Yep.
sometimes it's that easy.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like the thing is when you make a joke online, especially with like short form content, posting
mhm.
on short form content platforms is like the thing you have to keep in mind is that people aren't going to stick around for longer than 3 seconds because everyone's addicted to
Yes.
just moving their finger up, right? So
Yeah.
you gotta shorten it as much as you can and bring like you were saying about the crow video, how I just kind of drop you in there
Yes. Yeah.
because I'll see I'll see other sketches where they'll do like they'll put so much information in the beginning for the punchline to not even really require all that extra information.
I see that
You know what I
everywhere.
mean?
I see that in
Yeah.
other stand-up comedians. I see that in uh, all sorts of stuff that I do roast battles, and I always tell like other roast battlers like that are just getting into it, that your setups could be like 80% less. You know, we could like
Hmm.
this, like we don't need all this to get the joke that he looks like a pedophile. You know, we don't need
Yeah.
we
We
don't
don't
need
need to
all
know
this
like
setup. Yeah,
what
court
kind of
case
syrup he
numbers
had
and
on his
stuff. Yeah.
waffles. Yeah, no, it's
So
like
your
whenever I
content
finish it.
having, oh, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say like whenever I like have my first draft for a TikTok
Hmm.
or an Instagram reel, I will sit with it for about like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I'll play with an editing. I'm like, okay, I can shave this off, or I can take this part out, or I can add a
Hmm.
voice line here that kind of gets rid of this. Just as long as you can format it to what is necessary and what is funniest,
Yep.
the more successful it'll be, I believe. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna you have that's that built-in hooks that I was like I told you about, which is like the seeing one of your videos, we see, you know, immediately we see your face and text like explaining
Yeah.
who this is, like who you're gonna
Uh,
be. And it's like now we're trying to keep up almost, so we're staying on the video, you know, like
yeah.
rather than, you know, voicing that you're this person. Um, and another thing that's interesting too about your cut is you're not you don't really talk as yourself. So I'm assuming that like the as like you're always you playing a character on your
Oh
like
yeah.
account. I my stuff is me saying, you know, like my thoughts more because I'm a that's the stand-up side of
Right.
comedy. So kind of what I wanted to ask is like doing interviews like this a little like outside of the comfort zone, or talking directly to camera on TikTok something you're like or and CODCAST is kind of
Um.
this middle ground between both of those, which is we could talk for 8 more hours about CODCAST, but
Yeah. We. Oh yeah.
it's so
But
simple. I've never seen PNGs be that funny before, but but yeah, like so having your like putting your own opinions and thoughts out there, not in the form of one of your like videos, is that it does that feel foreign to you, or is this just natural? You're kind of
uh, I definitely have to get more comfortable with it because
mhm,
I don't do it as often as I probably should. But as for TikTok, like I used to, I would sometimes do videos where I would talk directly as I'm like I'm stating an opinion or I'm making a joke, but it is me. I'm not like playing something with a
gotcha.
caption.
Okay.
But I eventually just stopped doing it because I thought, you know what? I mean, this is kind of my strong suit,
Mhm.
and
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 your acting is really good. Like the and
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
the there's like subtleties in it that like one of my favorite movies is The Producers with Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel. And
Okay.
like Gene Wilder, I don't know if you've seen it, but Gene Wilder is funnier trying to be a serious character in that movie than if he was trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's like a reality to the like in certain, you know, and especially like the voiceovers you do like in the Crow like video, like he's not like, you know, like like
Uh-huh.
and then even like the main character of that one being like, what do you want me to do?" Like he was like he's out there, you know, like all that stuff just like adds up so well. And like using the voiceover, like when how did that develop, like putting like having another character speaking in your videos? You time it very well, and I know that's all intentional. So how did that start?
Uh, so the voiceovers, yeah. So whenever I do a skit that I know that I'm going to voice over, because I always know beforehand when I film
You
it,
leave the
I'm going
room,
to put
right?
a voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always leave the room and I always kind of
Hmm.
imagine like what I'm probably going to say in the next 4 minutes when I get to the editing of it. Sometimes I'll have like specific lines written out and then I'll react to those specific words. But then when I do that, sometimes I go to the voice recording part and then I'll ad lib it
Hmm.
and then I'll mess it up. And then it's just so I just kind of go with like I was just kind of imagine like what kind of reaction or what kind of response I'm gonna have in the next few minutes, and then I act as that. And then once I go to edit, I watch over how I just acted a few seconds ago. And I just react to that to create that atmosphere of two people being in the room, sort of.
Yep. Yeah. In front of an
That's
Iron
what I.
Man poster. Yeah.
Yeah, every time,
Every
every
time.
time. I've had this damn poster since 2019, man.
Well, you can't move now. People are like without the poster. You gotta like
No,
you gotta keep
this
the
room in
poster. Yeah.
general. Yeah,
If only you could do
yeah.
shirts of the poster, but Marvel would get on that stat.
No, Disney wouldn't do something like that, would they?
No, they would never. They would not. Taylor Swift would
No,
never
man.
do that either. Um,
No.
so another so switching gears to some more kind of just personal like history. So um what was the first big video? Like you're at like that. Was there a first video that really gave your like account momentum? You started on
Yep.
TikTok and then they kind of carried over into Instagram, or
Yeah. Well, yeah. So when I was, I think it was 2020, year 2020. I lived with my parents. Uh, I did a sketch because I used to do content where I was a bit of like a trend waver, where you
Mhm.
would do videos that were just whatever the fuck was, sorry, I swear, but whatever was popular at the time.
Yeah.
I would hop on, but then eventually I started doing my own skits, and these skits would stretch to almost 3 minutes. These sketches, and first sketch I did was, or one of the first sketches I did was this pizza video where these three guys were trying to order a pizza, and then the third guy was just being ridiculous and saying the most ridiculous stuff, and then that hit 1 million. The first video I ever had that hit 1 million, and I think that's what really took me off. And then the video after that did, I don't remember now. I want to say 500K. I think most of it was riding off of the wave of the other one. But I mean,
Hmm.
after that, people started to follow, and they were like, "Oh, cool, this guy does this stuff." And then I started doing more of that, and but yeah, no, but yeah, that's the first video I did that was big. That's what gave me my stamina in this field of comedy. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then so that's like for me, like I had like one video that hit 14 million, and that took me from like 1,000 to 30K, and I sat at 30K for 4 years, and then I gained 8K last year. So like
Yeah,
uh
it's
so
tricky.
how did
Yeah.
how did yours work? So it's just been steady until 190, or
No, no, no. It was like I say, that pizza video that got me to the pizza video, and the one after that. The one after that was about me like moving my bed 1,000 times, changing the bed.
hmm.
I don't know what it was now, but those two videos had got me to 50K,
Oh, okay.
50K, and then about 2 years after that, that's when I had reached 100K. Still doing like the same thing, longer skits and stuff, and then I began to move over to Instagram, started posting everything I do on TikTok. And at this
Hmm.
point, I was starting to do skits that were shorter and fitting the more short form vibe that the
Yeah,
app
and
had.
that's when you started seeing a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's when I started to go to like 120, 130, 140. I started building my way up. The same with Instagram. Instagram, I think the Crow video really helped my Instagram a lot. That really brought it up to 100K quite fast.
Nice.
That was very nice. Yes. And
Got
and
Wilford's
and
attention.
then now, yep. So only a call away. But yeah, it's been a slow rise since then.
Nice. Well, you've lapped
Yeah.
me multiple times, so this interview's over. Um, but so that longer stuff brings me to another one of my favorites of yours. And I apologize if I'm describing this incorrectly. The robber and the murderer in the closet, both of them hiding,
Mm,
waiting for
waiting for
waiting for
the
the guy to leave, and then the cleaner being there.
yeah,
Just the
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 cleaner.
full the full circle of like all of that is was
Mhm.
I mean just a beautiful video, I have to say. I don't really have a question about it.
Thank
But
you. Yeah.
that seemed like that was during your short your short content phase. Um,
Was it? I
I'm
don't
asking
know.
you, like what that. I'm trying to remember.
I think I don't know, man. I think I was starting to make that transition.
Oh, okay.
I think that was one of the last longer ones I did, and then I started going more short form, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another one of your big ones
I took
is the
a
9/11 one. That like every
which one?
yeah. You're gonna have to be more specific. Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
man.
so, but
I
is
can't
your
let that
mo
tragedy alone.
you're piling on. Um, is your most favorite video your most viewed? Usually it isn't. But
So actually, I was thinking about this before I was looking at I don't really have a favorite video. My most viewed one was the crow video on Instagram.
mhm.
And then on TikTok it was the cake AI one where he looks at the
Okay,
controller or I
yeah,
look at the controller and um but honestly, man, I got so many that I enjoy, but I'm more of like I had fun while making it.
yeah. It's the
And
next
then
one.
once it's
The next one's
posted,
the favorite.
yeah,
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 once it's posted, I like don't really, you know what I mean? Kind of like, like when
yeah.
you, I don't want to say that. That's gross.
No, go
Um,
ahead. Yeah.
uh, you know when you jack off and then the porn is no longer interesting?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that. I'm
That's when
sorry, dude. I meant to think of
that's
a
when I
different
bring up your
analogy.
account.
I'm sorry.
That's,
Yeah. Yeah. He comes. Okay. You hear that, or did my mic bust out again?
no,
Happened.
I heard all that. The clapping. That's also on brand.
Perfect.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So the way I assume you don't get a lot of hate in your comment
I do.
sections. Oh, you do.
I do.
Oh,
Oh, I do.
for what? For what?
I do.
The
Uh,
not to dwell on this
well,
for too
I
long,
mean,
but
there's just,
I really thought you didn't. Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't get it as much as like others do, but people are just
Yeah.
people, right? So of course, they make fun of my appearance, or they make fun of,
Hmm.
or like they don't think the video was funny, so they have to state that,
Right. Yeah.
or just a lot of it's very opinion based anyway, so it's not like a huge deal. But well, no, I do get it. Maybe not like every video, but it's there. I do see it. Yeah, and I deal with it accordingly. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my stuff is like I've been on this roasting Republicans like rampage,
Oh
accidental
yeah,
alliteration. But
they're very nice people, so I don't see how that would
oh yeah, yeah. And then
cause
for
much
some
hate.
reason this baffles me. I was interested just like so I'll make fun of like I made a video like roasting Barron Trump today, saying how he
Mm-hmm.
looks like if Donald Trump took the substance, and uh, and people go like, "Why is someone who looks like you making fun of this guy?" And it's like, "Well, I should be. Like, we're all in weird looking town duking it out together. Like what? Like
Yeah,
what? Like, and also
we're having a laugh.
He's a billionaire's president's son. He should be fine. He should be
Yeah,
fine."
like the
But I
guy will
really
live.
didn't think you got hate. That's surprising. People are just comedy
Yeah.
purists, I guess.
Oh yeah, and honestly, the best. And I'm actually glad you brought up hate because there's something I wanted to say actually. Uh,
Go ahead. Yep.
ha, let me ask you first. How do you deal with hate? Like, how do you do?
Well,
Like, what's your,
well, it's
you know?
platform based because I've made the mistake of responding to people on Instagram, and that the algorithm is
Mm,
so fine tuned that it will send your video to more people that will hate your video.
oh,
Like I did a video making fun of Matt Rife, and I was like going to people's profiles and responding to them, which I should have been doing because it just sent my video to more haters. Like the um if I and my
that's the
rule is
meta way.
if I don't have something like a response loaded that I can type out immediately, I just ignore it. Like
Okay.
there's no point in spending time trying to craft responses to people. And I'm like I'm like a roast riffing comic. So if I don't have something immediately like to respond back, it's just a lot of, a lot of like
Hmm.
wasted energy on,
Yeah,
arguing with
because
trucks profile pictures.
yeah, that's kind of the great thing about being in the comedy game is that essentially someone that hates on you is a heckler. Essentially, you break it down, that's what they are,
They're
and
live.
it,
They
and
have
it,
to
and it
own that moment.
yeah, yeah, it's fun to banter with them and all that. And if you got like really good like responses, you got to use it, man. It's
Hmm.
to your advantage every time. But the thing with hate, and I always see because I always find whenever creators start to come up, or people who are interested in posting content, that's the number one thing they're scared of is just hate. They're scared of what this guy with a with a Lego Star Wars profile picture is going to say about them if they post a "Get ready with me."
A customized
Right?
Lego start, like not even
Customized
something
one.
on Google Images, something you have to like make yourself, like
Something you have to get the Apple AI to fucking. Sorry, I keep swearing, but
exactly.
I feel like every fish on the podcast right now swearing. But
You could swear on this. I'm not you have more subscribers than I do. I'm not monetized. Um,
uh, I
but
lost my
they're
train of
worried
thought.
about hate is what you were saying when they're getting started.
Yeah, like they're so a lot of them are so afraid of hate, and it's just and I see other creators whenever they respond to this kind of questioning, they always go, "Oh, don't let it get to you.
Hmm.
Don't let it get to you. They're
Well, it's
just
go it's
sad."
it's going to. You
Like
like,
that's
yeah.
the whole thing. It's gonna like you can't have like you're a human being. You're a human being who's putting themselves out on the internet every day almost, right? And they're
Yeah.
being perceived by hopefully thousands of people. That's what you want. That's the whole reason, you want people to see your content. That's a good
Hmm.
thing. And they get this notion that everyone's gonna like love you and they're not gonna be mean to you because you're so interesting in your own way. It's like that's never the case.
Yeah.
You're human and they're human, right? They're humans are as naturally cruel as they are. They're also very beautiful. Like we're such an interesting species. So to look at to basically build this foundation that they're just a gremlin in their mom's basement. They don't matter.
Yeah.
I'm better. Or like it's just that's such a bad thing. It's like when someone tells you like uh for example, like me, people say sometimes like, "Oh, this isn't as funny as you think it is.
Oh,
This is not funny or whatever." Right? It's
it's
just
almost like humor is subjective.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's super subjective, right? But also like, okay, you're a guy, girl, whatever. You're in whatever country you're in. You didn't like it. It's kind of weird that you had to voice it. It's kind of weird that you had to put that out there. But at the
Hmm.
end of the day, it's like that's you,
Yeah.
and I enjoy doing this. You didn't enjoy it. That's okay. That's fine. I don't look at you like you're less than me or something. I don't look at you like you're a gremlin, like you're a monster. It's just you're just kind of weird. And I've built this foundation like, oh, I gotta fight off. Like, no, not to fight off anything. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna make
Yeah.
it, it's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah. And it's gonna
Yeah,
it's
like
gonna
it's
happen. It's gonna happen a lot. Yeah.
a
The
lot in your face in person.
Yeah, yeah, and I think
Just
that's the benefit of being a comedian is it kind of, uh, toughens you up for that kind of. I'm not gonna, I don't really
yeah,
care what someone says online. I've had hecklers approach me after the show based on like what I said
yeah,
to them. But there's certain stuff that does get you on, like someone said I look like a white version of the Rent is Too Damn High guy. Um, and like
rent is
Cornel
too damn high,
West,
guy.
that guy.
Cornel
Well,
West. I don't know
Jamie,
these names.
Jamie, pull that up. But
Puff.
Puff, pull that up. But that like people always try and roast me back when I roast someone, and I like invite that, I guess, by like roasting a celebrity.
Right.
So I get a lot of those,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes the dumb stuff gets to you, like when people put like comedian in quotes. and like they're just like, I don't know why that doesn't mean anything, but just somehow that
It
just
doesn't
like irks me just
it
a
it
little bit, like
yeah, it's a little
that
mosquito
you
bite.
thought that was damaging. Yeah, like
Yeah, like
yeah.
yeah, like
We
I
get
get
you're
so many
being funny. They
unicorns.
love quotes. Like the haters online love like throwing little quotes, like you
They
little
love putting
skit and stuff.
quotes
Yeah.
and they love putting laughing emojis at the end of every sentence they say.
Oh, that's how you know someone's losing an argument, if the laughing
Yeah.
emojis at the end of everything.
Laughing
Um,
emojis at the end, bro at the start,
well,
you know,
we'll
the
get off
formula.
hate and we'll go
Yeah.
into something that people are loving, which is CODCAST.
Oh yeah.
I looked through all the CODCASTs, plenty of positive comments on there. Imagine hating on CODCAST. What's the
Mm,
like? Let's just imagine that for a second. Um,
imagine
but
that.
yeah, so as we ride off into the sunset on this interview, what's on the cards for 2025? More CODCAST, I hope.
Absolutely more podcast and more like podcast. I'm planning on I'm working on new things. Like I say, I'm trying to expand out from TikTok and Instagram because
That's why I wanted to ask.
I love doing this. Yeah.
What have you been doing over the course of the past few years that's outside of TikTok? I know you're a voice actor. A couple of
Yeah.
other irons in the fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just trying to put as many of my skills to use as possible.
Yeah.
Uh,
How old are
you
you,
know,
by the way? You could be
I'm
a
23.
hundred or 20. Okay, yeah. I'm 30. I'm 32 almost. You got a lot of time ahead of you. I wish I had figured it out earlier. So that props to you on that. But yeah, what's on the cards for 2025?
What's on the cards? Yeah, so just everything and anything. I'm trying everything. Like, I want to do uh more series similar to podcast, different things, maybe some live action stuff, maybe some stuff I work on with other people, trying to expand my skills as a creator, uh trying to kind of not escape TikTok or Instagram, but just kind of do more. Because I mean, I love doing skits, but like I don't want to do it until I'm like 40. You know what I mean? Like doing the
Yeah.
same, you know what I mean? Like just doing that until I'm,
Well, no,
you know
this
what I
is
mean? So
it's supposed to, all the stuff we're doing right now is supposed to lead to, and I hope it does for you, especially lead to better things. Um,
yeah, that's the
so
whole goal,
you
right?
gotta
You gotta
diversify.
learn.
Yep.
Yeah. And and that's another thing too that a lot of people seem to be afraid of as creators that they get almost scared to try and do new things because
Oh
they're
yeah,
afraid of their
yeah.
audience leaving them. And it's like they don't understand that your audience has already left you many times. Like like some guy who followed me in 2020 does not still follow me now. Back in 2020, he could have loved me. I could have been his Bill Burr,
And even if he
you know?
does, the TikTok algorithm he might not have seen you in years. You
You know what
know.
I mean, right? So your
Yeah.
audience is constantly in a blender. It's just like some shit
I have
flies out, some stuff stays
37K.
in,
I have no idea where they are.
right? Like
Yeah.
so when you do new things that you love to do and you know is good or like
Mhm.
you see so much potential in it, like just do it. And whoever says, oh, I miss the old Christopher, I miss the old Anthony Zakar, I miss the old whatever. It's like, well, that stuff's all still there. You can go watch it, but like I'm doing new stuff, and then people
That
who
is a
like the
great
new
point.
stuff come in. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
like people who like the new stuff are gonna come in. People who appreciate what you're doing are gonna stay. Your audience could grow 10 times more. Like I said, your audience isn't just like one specific group of people. It's just constantly shifting. So
Mhm. It's
that's one thing that creators
That's
gotta look out
beautiful,
for.
especially
But
with TikTok. The nature of TikTok, you shouldn't
yeah, and
be
the business of
afraid
it.
to try new
Yeah,
things because that's what the app wants. That like
yeah,
it literally is showing your content to new people each time.
yeah,
Both unfortunately and fortunately, um,
yeah.
for for a myriad of reasons. The last two questions we'll get into is there any advice you would give yourself starting out in 2020?
2020.
Like
Uh,
when you started doing this that you know now.
Uh, just kind of just have more confidence in what I do,
Yeah.
right? Because in 2020, I knew that I wanted to do what I'm doing now, but I didn't. I was kind
Yeah.
of like, like I was in a stage of like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to take off. I don't know if this is going to get views. I don't know. But it's like views, followers, likes. It doesn't matter. It's what matters is the impression that you make on the people that watch it, right? It's a matter. It's a matter of who's seeing it and who's enjoying it. Like, and if you enjoy it and you love it, people are going to love it.
Yep.
That's a fact. They're going to love
That's
what you
my
because
2025 philosophy exactly is
right,
that just
right.
like don't get it right, get it written. Just,
Don't get it
the
right, get written. That's a good one. Did you make it up yourself?
no, that's a saying.
Oh,
Um
I never heard of it. So I want to write it down. Now, shit.
yeah,
Good saying.
don't get it right, get it written. That you have to write that phrase down.
I'm right.
Uh,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
yeah,
gonna
no, it's
don't.
there's a lot of pressure and a lot of a lot of imaginary rules we put on ourselves, that no one
Mhm.
is checking up on or cares about.
Yeah, it's
Just
all
get it out
insecurities,
there, pull the
man.
trigger. Um, well, depending on who you are, don't take that literally. But and then the last question is it's a tough one, but it's one I've been asking around my job, and I've been asking other people too. Is what is the difference between good and great?
What is the difference between good and great?
In your case, what's the difference between like one of like in your specific answer that to the best of your ability. There's no wrong answer.
Good, good gets the job done,
Hmm.
and great gets you ready for the next one.
That is a
I don't know.
great
I
answer.
have to work on that. I got to work on that one a little bit, but you get the point. I think
Yeah,
like
yeah,
good, because usually people who do good try to do good. They're worried about what's going on in the now. They're like, okay, if I get this now, and I think this will get the amount of likes I want at the amount of views. Great. It's like, okay, I don't care how it does right now. I know it'll set me up better for the future.
yep.
Yeah,
That's
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 that's a
that's the
great.
best
Can
way
you?
I could.
That's a great answer. No, the way I see it is in the response. So if if you were to ask me, what'd you think of this movie? I would say it was good. But if
Mhm.
something's great, I'm telling you about it. You're not gonna like before you
Oh
ask me
yeah,
about it. Like I'm talking about it. Oh, this was great. I'm more active with the support than on something that is great. And it's we throw around words like that all the time. So it's just kind of a fun thought experiment to just to see can we define these parameters because we're very clear between good and bad, and
yeah.
we
That's good.
obsess
Yeah, like
over that. But what's the difference between good and great? Yeah,
yeah, like good food gets you fed. Great food has you looking up the recipe
that
because you want to
that
have it again. I don't know.
can't
I
can't
don't know, man. I wasn't a
can't get
philosopher,
better
but
than that. So Christopher, thank you for joining me on this pilot episode
thank you,
of
Anthony.
just what we were talking about, making stuff, pulling the trigger, branching out, trying new things. That's what I'm doing over here. So thanks, I appreciate you hopping on. And
I appreciate you having me as your first guest, man. I wish great success on this podcast, and I have confidence that it will take off very well. You're a great host. Your questions are very well paced out. You're great banter. Like it's a lot of boxes are checked off from my perspective. So
well, thanks, man. That means a lot.
yeah,
And
yeah.
my last question is, why aren't you following me back? But
I'm about to do it now.
I'll turn off the camera on that one.
I'm about to do it.
But
Yeah,
thank you all
I
for
always
tuning in.
did.
Follow iChristopher on everything. There's more
You know what's crazy?
CODCAST coming soon.
I'm not really sure what you mean. To be honest. Oh,
Gasp.
you mean on TikTok?
Oh, on
Yeah, you mean on
Instagram
TikTok?
on Instagram is touching, but on TikTok that's where it's real.
Hmm. well, let me just do that right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
I like pitting people on the spot to interact with my
Yeah,
content more. That's what this
yeah,
podcast
man.
really is. I'm getting viewers one at a time. That's what this is. But yeah,
Absolutely.
check out more podcast. What else should they be on the lookout for? Um,
Uh, well,
well, tune in and you'll see it.
yeah, yeah, definitely more podcast. The
It's
skits will never
iChristofer
stop,
on
of
everything,
course. Yep, I Christopher, a
yeah.
little period between the S and T because someone else had I Christopher.
And we will hunt them down and have them killed. You heard